How to make more money, right? That's a thing that everybody wants to figure out. And today we're gonna give you a couple of principles on how to make more money, how to retain your money, and most importantly, how to increase it. And stick out to the end, because at the end of the video, I do have a small little bonus for you. Today, here with Success Within, let's get started. Never gets old. Ready? Let's get it. So now that we're in my car, my little studio outside was a little bit noisy. Let's talk about how to make more money and how people make more money and how those people become successful after that, how to retain that money, and how are they actually able to truly invest it and actually multiply it and actually make more money along the sides of jobs or whatever. So number one for me is gonna be side hustles, right? So side hustles are very a couple of easy side that I have personally seen that work and are very easy to start are like buying and selling. For example, let's say that you have a little extra money from your job. You're able to spend maybe $200-300 on some things that you find on eBay or some things that you found on AliExpress. And you buy these things, for example, when you buy things from China, you buy them in bulk, you are able to buy them from really cheap and you're able to sell them. That's a nice little easy side hustle that you can start anywhere really. And even you can start selling it with your friends, and then you can start posting these things on OfferUp or on Facebook Marketplace and things like that. You put a nice little premium on it and people are gonna buy it. You know, some people are gonna buy it, some people are not gonna buy it. You gotta obviously find a good product that you like, and personally interested in, and you think that it's gonna be good. So obviously it's finding that one product, but once you find that product, you'll be fine. And that's one side hustle. Another side hustle would be like what Gary Vee really likes, which is actually going to garage sales, finding things for really cheap and reselling it on eBay. That's another way of reselling. Another side hustle that you can start easy is like a website, right? So you don't necessarily need to do a website yourself. Maybe you're not too savvy, right? You can always pay somebody to do it for you, right? You go on Fiverr, right? You look up Fiverr and you have a bunch of people that are willing to do your website for you, manage your website for you, manage your sales. You just have to do a little bit of studying, a little bit of effort, a little bit of reading, and you'll be fine. Literally, all you gotta do is just a little bit of thing and you'll be fine. But another easy side hustle that you can start, let's say that you're interested in photography, right? And you really are passionate about photography and anything to do with photography, with video, with the drone photography, videography, anything like of the sort, right? Well, then you can start a side hustle, second job, doing that thing for people. For example, you can do it with friends, you can do weddings that are your family members' weddings, and things like that. All you gotta do is gather a little bit of equipment, and that could be a nice little something that you do on the side that generates you a little bit of income that is actually something that you enjoy to do. And then maybe you can turn that into your full-time. You never know. Your side hustle could always turn into your full-time. The only thing is about creating that flow, that momentum. You know, you gotta just do it, man.
3 hours later.
We're gonna go on a ride. Seat belt. Put your seatbelt on. Please, I know Destin, Florida's beaches are amazing, they're beautiful, but you see this? When I can't go to the beach to make a video, that's no bueno. Yeah, so I don't know how we got to the beach. Don't ask me, I don't know. But the next thing that I wanted to talk about was investments. So, investments to me is a very crucial thing to make more money. Why? Because there's all kinds of investments that you can do if you have a lot of money, if you have a little bit of money, if you just want to play it safe, if you want to play at risk. There's all kinds of investments that you can do that actually accommodate to your level of entry, right? My favorite type of investments, which are business investments, like if you're investing in a business to yourself, into your knowledge, into your future, right? That's the best investment that you can have in yourself. Now, a couple other investments that I really like, for example, that are easy are like stocks, right? Just depends on the level of dedication and focus that you put towards that one thing, right? So for me, stocks is more like a passive investment kind of thing. Like I passively invest into stocks, I passively invest into cryptos, right? And I'm not a financial advisor, But like I said, it just depends on what you want to do. But there's all kinds of investments. Like I said, cryptocurrency is one, is what everybody's talking about right now. So that's one, but another one is stocks. Like I said, there's all kinds of stocks. You know, it's not gonna get you rich overnight, and you obviously have to do a little bit of research, investing in yourself, investing in a business, but you gotta have a vision, you gotta have a goal, you gotta have a plan. You can't just say, okay, I'm gonna invest, and then go into something blindly that you don't really know what it is, and then your money is just gone, right? So you wanna make sure that whatever you invest in, you study it, you research it, you know what you're getting yourself into, and don't be dumb. Don't be dumb, bro. What's happening? What's happening? Oh! Okay, so now next thing for me is very important, and it's something that people don't talk about enough: using your money wisely, right? So let's say that you're making a lot of money. Let's say you're making 6 figures, but if you don't know how to invest it, if you don't know how to use it wisely, and if you don't know how to retain as much money as possible from all the money that you're making, then what's the money good for anyways, right? It's just gonna leave. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. Like, you could be making $1 million, but if you waste $999,000, then at that point, you're really not doing anything. But yeah, like I said, just about retaining the most amount of money that you can, and making sure that you not only make money, but also save the money that you have, right? Save it, invest it. I like to invest the money. I like to make sure that we don't just put the money away and leave it in the bank, because that's just gonna rot and it's gonna just disappear. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you put it into smart investments that are going to increase in value over time, or that are at the minimum going to at least retain the value that you have. Like, if $100 you put in the bank, in 10 years it's going to devaluate. But if you put those same $100 in a Tesla stock, the Tesla stock is going to eventually go up in value and increase. So that's what we want. We want to increase the amount of money that we retain, that we make, and the amount of money that we ultimately are able to use for our family, for ourselves, for the benefit of humanity. And obviously, if you want a better life, you kind of have to, I don't know, make a little bit of sacrifice and just... And we're back in the studio. Really, the last point that I really wanted to make was mentality. You gotta have a mission, a plan, what you want to do. You can live life just randomly, but it's always better to have a plan. There's always that good reward on having things be random, not knowing what you're gonna do next, and kind of like doing different things, and that's kind of good too, right? But it's always good to have a little bit of goals or a little bit of plan, because the way you plan, you can build towards something that you're actually going to look forward to, right? So that kind of motivates you to keep pushing forward. Unless you love adventure like me, then whatever, skip this video. And if you stuck out to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming along, and here for your reward. So I'll tell you about a thing that I used to do, and that currently I still am going to do, to retain money and to be able to either get that money back and invest it again, or reuse it for something else. So we all know that we all need to travel. That's one of the most important things right now. If you want a better job, if you want a better place to, if you want to go to different places, if you want to do things, if you want to have fun, if you want to move around, you gotta have a vehicle, right? So you gotta have a car. For me, the way I was able to actually, you know, save and retain some of my money and reuse it was I would actually find cheap deals on cars. I would never buy a new car, right? So I would save up some money. I would buy a car that was maybe not the most luxurious car ever. My first car was a Prius, and you see, like, I didn't care. Honestly, I didn't care. It was a cheap car, I know it, and I didn't care. It saved me a lot of money, right? I was able to use then that money, and I was able to make a little bit of money with it. I resold that car, grabbed that money, I got myself into a better car, and with that, I was able to flip it again and do the same thing, right? The good thing is that you are able to do that with used cars that you find good deals for. Obviously, you got to do a little bit of market research, and you kind of have to find the right deal. But when you get the right deal and you get it, you're able to do that. You buy a new car, yeah, you buy it for $1,000 down, but that's already like maybe 50%, like 40% of its value. It's already degraded. So you lost money, you lost investment, and you lost money, and you still have to pay that money anyways, right? So for me, the best thing to do is to kind of find a good deal that's obviously not going to throw you in the ground. That's why I always try to stick with Toyotas that are more reliable, things that have proven to be reliable. Obviously check with the mechanic and everything like that. Obviously it's always good to take a mechanic with you when you're checking for a car. One tip that has helped me when I was young to kind of retain the small money, because when we're young we don't have a lot of money to play around with, right? We haven't been working for a long time. Maybe you just got out of high school, right? And you don't have a lot of money to play around with, right? You know, what I had to do was figure it out, and for me that was what I did. Used it for a long time and then resold it, saved that money back, got that money back, and was able to invest it in another vehicle that I actually liked. And guys, thank you so much for staying out with me for this adventure that we had today. It was a pleasure, and if you stuck out to the end, I appreciate you sincerely. Thank you so much for following along with me today. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button for that YouTube algorithm so we can keep putting out that good old content for you guys. So thank you guys for watching Success Within. I will see you at the next video.